Hey, welcome to your Aquarius horoscopes for the week ending March 16th, 2024. And we still have Pluto and Mars in Aquarius. Mars is on his way out. In fact, more than likely, we may have one more week of Mars influence, and then he's pretty much done with us and moved on to another sign, which is nice. Pluto, on the other hand, not going to happen. I keep telling everybody Pluto will be in Aquarius probably through the end of my life. And I'm not even that old, but we're talking 25, 30 years. I'm 47. It's highly possible I will not live to see the end of Pluto in Aquarius. Which is fine right now. Now we do have Mars continuing to be in a square with Uranus, and the moon is going to influence that about Thursday as it moves into conjunction with Uranus, which are both really focused on old trauma around people who are supportive of you. Us Aquarians, we're really kind of weird. In a way, we crave support, but we're very individual at the same time. So it's like, while we crave the support, we're pushing it away because we have to have control over absolutely everything and can't when there are other opinions involved, which is kind of a way that we get in our own way because no man or woman is an island. None of us can do everything on our own. Simply put, nobody can do everything on their own. I run a business. It took me years to hire the professional help for things like my website, which I'm not very good at, things like my bookkeeping, which I'm not very good at, and want to make sure that it's done right. Because in all honesty, I need those support systems in order to run a successful business. That's just how it is. If I relied on myself and myself alone, it just wouldn't get done. I'd get overwhelmed. I wouldn't know which way to go. It could end up all bad, and it has in the past when I insisted on doing absolutely everything myself. So keep that in mind. Um, Mars focus is on long-term goals, and Pluto actually defines that these are long-term financial goals. So we're really looking at our money structure. And there's always a million different things that come up to throw us in the panic mode and that fear place about whether or not money is going to come in, whether we're going to actually make that money, whether we're going to be successful, whether we're losing money. We're Aquarians, so this thing goes a million miles a minute at any given time. It always does. And we are literally making ourselves crazy by trying to overthink and control all of this stuff. We just got to stop doing it. The thing is that money is like energy. It flows. And as long as we allow it to flow in and out responsibly, okay, then things work better than when we micromanage it, when we're worried about how it's coming in, when it's coming in, whether or not we can pay the bills. I mean, ever since the pandemic, this is what I've been doing to self-sabotage, is constantly worrying about where the money is coming from and whether or not we're going to make it. We've always made it. We're still here. Why worry about it, right? It's not helping anything. And if anything, it's getting in the way of me being productive to do anything about the problem. And that's always the issue. Now, Pluto is in a sextile with Neptune, which the sun also moves into conjunction with Neptune and becomes a part of this sextile. And when we get to Thursday, the moon makes this a grand sextile as it moves into a trine with Pluto. So we're looking at eliminating these old behaviors, hence the overthinking problem. And by eliminating that, it opens up doors for success in your career, which opens up doors for success financially. All we have to do is get out of our heads and actually get it done. That's it. And that's what we're not necessarily good at. And we have to work really hard to be that way because we're the idea makers. We're all about the brilliant ideas. Let somebody else do the work. Ain't gonna happen. Been waiting for somebody to come along and just go ahead and implement those all of those ideas for me and do no work. It's not going to happen. You have to be the one to implement those ideas and create something. Yes, getting support is always a good idea, but we're not relying on somebody to do it for us. And I think that's really the big thing there. The other thing that seems to get in my way a lot is mentally projecting the problem to be huge. Oh my God, that's so much work. And I just don't think that I can tackle all that work at this time. So we don't do anything about it. And that's not very productive either. It doesn't matter how big or small the mess is. Once we start and get going, we can start making it smaller. And usually, mentally, we always make a mountain out of a molehill. It's just in our nature to do so. So this week is also a good opportunity to be looking at how often that tends to happen and how much that may be holding you back from moving forward in those goals. So that's what I have for you guys this week. Definitely a little bit easier because we don't have quite so many planets influencing Aquarius and influencing these challenges. Once Mars moves out of Aquarius, we're going to move out of that one last challenge that Mars has with Uranus, with those planets that are in Taurus. So things are going to smooth out a little bit more and become a little less evasive for us, which is nice. We need a nice little break before that next Mercury retrograde, which comes up next month. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation to my coffee link, which is in the description. Really appreciate that very much. Also, check out my website, which is also in the description of the video as well. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic, and I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, you guys make it a super productive and awesome week, and I will see you next week.